This is the day the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, we have everyone here. We're going to get started with the order of service, the program. Welcome to House of Lebanon, and it's a blessing for you to be here to share with us in this great celebration. We're going to start with two members of the Mount Lebanon CDC that worked very hard with all of us in getting this program together, Tori Johnson and Jennifer Snowden.
Good morning. Thank you. Good afternoon, actually. We've been here a little bit. Thank you all so much for coming out. We'll keep our remarks really short. Again, my name is Tori Johnson, my colleague Jennifer Snowden. We are so excited that you're here. On behalf of our President, Johnny Holliday, in his absence, we'd like to thank you for coming. We're so excited about this endeavor and the House of Lebanon coming to fruition. We appreciate all of your support and prayers over this season as we've prepared for this time.
Thank you. That's it.
It's my pleasure at this time to, this would not have happened had it not been for the dedicated leadership of our mayor, who is the civic pastor of the city, and the civic pastor of the city. And if it had not been for his sterling leadership, we would not have been able to make this possible. There were those who wanted to turn this into a marketplace housing, but under the leadership of the mayor, we were determined that this was going to be a place for affordable housing, seniors, amen, 55 years old on up. 55 is the new 35. So I'm 55 myself, amen. And as one of the neighbors told me yesterday, I might be old, but I'm not cold. So this is going to be a lively place. The word Lebanon literally means supplier of the temple. And we aim, through the leadership of our mayor, the Honorable Vincent Gray, to make this place a supplier of the temple, both physical and spiritual. So, won't you all help give us a big hand for Mayor Gray, the mayor of our city, who's going to come forward now.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I've been called a bunch of things, but never a civic pastor, okay? But I like it, Pastor Edmonds. I like it. I'm putting that on my cards from now on. And it sounds all right when you're introduced that way, too, doesn't it? It sounds good to me. I like it. Happy holidays, everybody. Isn't this a great way to be able to celebrate the holidays? There are a lot of people behind me and those in front of me who were here for the groundbreaking. And a groundbreaking is nice, but it's always better to have a ribbon cutting, isn't it? Because that means we have accomplished what we set out to do. I want to congratulate those who've been involved in the development of this effort. And there are a lot of folks. Mission First, Housing Development Corporation, Urban Matters Development, Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. I'm going to say Pastor Edmonds because he is such a moving force. He is a dynamic soul, isn't he? Yeah. We're going to make him, if he keeps on doing the way he's doing, we're going to make him a civic pastor, y'all. And, of course, I'm sure there are members here from WIN, the Washington Interfaith Network, that has done such good work across the city in helping to bring attention to some of the important social causes. I want to thank members of my staff and those who work with me every day who are here as well. Our deputy mayor is not here, but he's represented by Rich Nichols, who is the chief of staff in DMPED, the deputy mayor for planning and economic development. And Brian Hanlon, who is our director of the Department of General Services, and that department has been in existence for only, 26 months? Just 26 months. What we did was we brought together all of the construction activity across the district government to try to create a more efficient and hopefully more effective approach to how we do this. And I couldn't ask for a better result than Brian has produced. They do the schools, they do all kinds of things across the city. They do playgrounds, you name it. And that's why you've seen so much construction activity taking place across the city. And Brian, I want to thank you for what you do to help make this a better city every day. It is a visible, tangible, concrete indication of the fact that we are moving forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor.
And now, I want you to make sure you enunciate carefully, okay? That word could be mistaken for something else, all right? And we've got a couple of other people here, too. Michael Kelly's unable to be here, but Nathan Sims is here on his behalf, and you're going to hear from him, who's doing a great job over at the Department of Housing and Community Development. And Maria Day Marshall, who I worked with a number of years ago, when we were both, about 20, 21 years of age? She is here representing the Department of Housing Finance, the Housing Finance Agency. I think everybody's noticed we're growing at a tremendously rapid pace, a pace that is meteoric. We're adding somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 residents net, new residents a month. The population, I see him easing up behind me. I want to see what title you give him, okay? That's our council member who I'm delighted to be joined by. I saw him last night also, who's doing a great job in Ward 5, and that's Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie. How about a big hand for Councilmember McDuffie? Anyway, we're adding somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 residents net a month. We now are at 632,000 people. By the way, we have a population, I like to tell people this, we have a population that's larger than the entire state of Vermont, a population larger than the entire state of Wyoming, and we're gaining on North Dakota. So, you know, they haven't let us be a state yet, but the day is coming when our population size will be a prima facie case. And by the way, don't you all think it's time for us to be a state? Yeah. Yeah. I really can be the civic pastor then, can't I? In any event, we have such a critical need for affordable housing. We don't watch out, people are going to be priced out of this city, and we cannot let that happen. I was reading an article recently about San Francisco, which is, of course, one of our great cities in America, and looking at the prices in San Francisco, one-bedroom apartments now are going for $2,300 a month, and apartments routinely going for $4,000 to $5,000 a month. And they are scrambling now to try to figure out how they are going to continue to be a city where people can live if folks want to live there. Well, we're trying to address that before we get into a dilemma that would price people out of the city. We've already, since I've been mayor, we've already brought online or have under construction about 2,000 units of affordable housing, which is a beginning, hardly a middle, hardly an end, but it is a beginning. And one of the things I'm really proud of in my almost 3 years in office is what we did just a few weeks ago. We just designated, through a variety of sources, $187 million for affordable housing for this year. That will fund 47 projects, will help us keep the city affordable and diverse, and I want to do more in the 15 budget so that I can look in the mirror and say that I've done everything that I could to make sure those who want to live in the District of Columbia have a chance to be able to continue to live here. And while money isn't everything, it is a good start, y'all. We are at a special time in this city, and that's one of the reasons why we put together a task force that's working on affordable housing, and we have adopted a goal. It's called 10 by 20. And that is, by 2020, we will have 10,000 units of affordable housing either preserved or created here in our great city. And we're going to put the money there in order to make sure that happens. Our seniors and others should not be forced out of this city. People should move because they want to move, not because they are priced out of being able to live in a city that folks want to be able to live in. That's what one city is. One city is a place for everybody, and that's what we want to be. I'm proud to be here. There's so much going on in the city, so much going on in this neighborhood. I'm proud to be here with, I'll call it my principal, and that is Principal Jackson, who is the principal of Dunbar High School. A great high school, if I might say so myself. Yeah. What do you think, Principal? You think it's a great high school?
I think it's the greatest high school in the nation.
Greatest high school in the nation. Greatest high school in the nation. And y'all know how objective I am about that, right? In case you wonder, yes, I graduated from Dunbar High School. And I used to walk past here. I used to walk past MMW, as we used to call it. And isn't it wonderful to see a high school? This school was built in 1912. So it's just a little bit over 100 years of age. Isn't it great to see it having now been repurposed? No longer did we need the school for what it did before, but now it's a great building that has been repurposed with the leadership of the folks that we talked about, repurposed so people can live here. People can live in the community they want to be in. It is a great job that was done. We have 80-plus units that have been developed here, and it's a model that we want to emulate as we go forward to make sure people continue to have a place in the District of Columbia. Thank you all very much.
Another great political partner and friend has been Councilman Kenyon McDuffie, who will come now. He is the council member from Ward 5. Let's give him a great big hand.
Good morning. Are we already in the afternoon? Yes. I'll tell you a little bit about my day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And welcome to Ward 5. I was over at another part of the ward just a little while ago, actually, with my Senior Citizens Advisory Council. We were having a nice breakfast, and I was thanking them for all the work that they've done with me in collaboration over the last 19 months. And I'm really appreciative of that work. I'm also appreciative of Pastor Edmonds and all the work that he's been doing. So let's give him a round of applause. If I look a little tired, it's because I am. It is the holiday season. And I have really been celebrating the holidays with family, friends, and the community. Just last night, we had a nice holiday party where our mayor, Vincent C. Gray, had a chance to stop past and offer greetings, and we really appreciate all that he's doing. When it comes to affordable housing, I don't know any mayor in my lifetime has ever been more committed to it. And it's not just about the things you say. I think my grandmother used to say, don't just listen to what a person says, you got to watch what they do. And while he says a lot of great things about affordable housing, he actually does a lot of great things about affordable housing. How much was it, Vince? $187 million? Exactly right. Investment in affordable housing. If that doesn't deserve a round of applause, I don't know what does. And what you have is a mayor that's committed to affordable housing, and you've got a Ward 5 council member that's committed to affordable housing. I think one of the things that we share is that we are both born and raised in this city. Mayor Gray grew up not too far from me off Florida Avenue, and I grew up right up the street on North Capitol Street. And it is important, as he said, that we not allow residents, particularly our seniors and long-term residents, to be priced out of this city. I live in a house on North Capitol Street that's been in my family for 3 generations. My grandparents bought that house back in 1951. My mom and dad bought it from them back in 1975 when I was born, and I and my wife bought it just a few years ago for my mom. And so we're pleased to be in that house. But I've got to tell you, if my wife and I were to try to buy that house today, we wouldn't be able to afford it. Just earlier this year, a house of 1 block up from us sold for $700,000. And that's just pretty expensive. I mean, I don't think you can say it any plainer than that. And so it's important that we have really important projects like the one we have here at House Lebanon. You're talking about 82 affordable homes for our senior citizens. For our senior citizens. We can talk about all the progress that we've seen in this city over the years, but we've got to recognize that that progress is only happening as a result of our seniors and the folks who have put in the work through the tough times. And so I want to recognize all our seniors here and throughout the city for all the work they've been doing. Truly, as a fairly young man, I know that I stand on the shoulders of the work our seniors have been doing, and I've made that commitment through the legislation that I've introduced and through the work that I've done with my Senior Citizens Advisory Council. I'm pleased to be able to be here with Mayor Gray, Pastor Edmonds, and all the principals of the development team who made this project happen. We cannot forget how critical it is to continue to produce these types of projects. We can't forget. As people come up to me every single day and talk about how increasingly unaffordable the city is becoming, there's work like the folks who are sitting behind me who make these positive projects happen. So I'm pleased to be here to celebrate with them. I'm pleased to be here to celebrate with you. I look forward to cutting the ribbon on this project and seeing more of these happen in 2014. Thank you all so much.
One of our great neighborhood partners is Dr. Stephen Jackson, who is the principal of Dunbar High School, a great principal of one of the greatest schools in our country. He's going to come forward now. Let's give him a hand.
Good afternoon. Pastor Gray. Brother Edmonds just gave me a title. He gave me a doctor title. I have a doctorate, but he gave me one, which is a great thing. Have a couple of masters, but I don't have a doctorate yet. So he gave me a title also. Sometimes people get me confused. Instead of saying principal, they say pastor or reverend, because sometimes I sound like one. But I'm very honored to be here today, simply because we are right down the block at the great Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. And when we developed a relationship and a partnership with Reverend Edmonds, he kept talking about how he's building this school when we were in the old building, and we were in the process of going through the building of the new Dunbar that you see. And quite honestly, it's a lot of work. So I know what he was going through when he started talking about building this particular place and redeveloping it, because at one point when I drove down the block, because I drive down here all the time, I saw a beat-up old M.M. Washington. And then all of a sudden, I started to see the building come alive. And I was like, wow, this is really nice. And when he talked about the work that they were doing here, I thought it was important for us not only to partner with Reverend Edmonds, but more importantly, allow our children to become a part of the community and work with his organization as well as many of the seniors in our community. And see, when you make that partnership with young children, especially on the high school level, it gives them the opportunity to not only have conversations with people who have come before them, but more importantly, learn about the experiences that many of the older people can actually teach them. They hear me every day. They hear my mouth every day. But it's important for them to hear other folk and other people. So it's important for us to have that this partnership. So I'm excited about this partnership. And when I saw the building, I said to myself, I said, well, Reverend, do you have a place for me here? I mean, it's right down the block from where my school is, because this place looked nice. I mean, I can't wait to see what the apartments look like in this place. And I'm sure most of you are probably thinking the same thing. But it's a beautiful place. And again, we are very happy and honored to be here. And to our civic pastor, Pastor Mayor Gray, who at sometimes sounds like a preacher, all right? So for me, you know, I'm just excited to be here among the people on this dais, including our councilman, who has been a great partner to Dunbar. And with that said, folk, I just want you to know that we're excited about partnering with the Mount Lebanon community, and you will see many of our children who will come and assist and help and do anything that you guys need, because they have to put in some community hours, at least 100 of them. And I have a lot of students that want to put in those community hours. In fact, I had about a good 20 of them this morning help one of the churches move food and give out food to people in the community. So I want you to know that our students are eager to help and to be there to support this wonderful effort. God bless. You have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. This is the Christmas season, so you have to give away. One of the residents is Sister Lois Taylor, and she's going to come forward and speak at this time.
Good afternoon, my Mount Lebanon family and neighbors. I first want to give thanks and praise to God for the building of the house of Mount Lebanon. I always wanted to live near my church so I would not have to depend on transportation. Well, here I am. It cannot get any better than what we have around us. Safeway, Walmart, Giant, Home Depot. We even have a dollar store next door. We have all kinds of transportation around us. The red line train, the 90, 91, 92 buses, the 80 bus, the P6, and the 96 bus. We got it all. Now let me do a little bragging. All of the apartments are beautiful. But when God shows favor, he always gives the best. Finally, I want to thank a few people who were thinking about us. Mission First, DC government, my pastor, Pastor H. Lionel Edmonds, who drilled the house of Lebanon in my brains every Sunday. Brother Johnny Holliday, Miss April Maria, and Ms. Aretha Sherrod for the hard work they put forward to help us seniors live a healthy, clean, decent life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lois. Lois, let's give her another great big hand. Lois had mentioned Johnny Holliday. Johnny Holliday is not here today because he had surgery this week, and he is in rehab as I speak. And our prayers are with him, but even from his hospital room, I heard he was giving out orders. But his sister, Chanel, is here from New York, and she's going to be with us for a little while. So, and our prayers are with Johnny. At this time, one of another partner with us is CVS Caremark. They've been a great partner for a number of years with the CDC and with the church, and we're glad to have with us today one of their great officers in CVS, who is a corporate partner of House of Lebanon, and that's Sister Sharnetta Young. She's going to come at this time.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? First, I'd like to thank Mayor Gray. I'd like to thank Honorable Councilman McDuffie, as well as Reverend Edmond and all of their staffs for the opportunity to celebrate here. I'm here on behalf of Ernie DuPont, the Workforce Initiatives Director for CVS, and the entire CVS Caremark organization, which includes our Minute Clinic, so come visit them. We've had the pleasure of being partnered with Mount Lebanon Baptist Church and the CDC for well over 10 years now, maybe closer to 15. And we have been so excited about the opportunities that we've been able to afford to the community through employment and health awareness and education, and even a couple of housing opportunities as well. So we are definitely excited about partnering or continuing our partnership here at the House of Lebanon. Our key goal at CVS and our vision is to help people on their path to better health. And how can we do that more so than being right in the community? So we are absolutely blessed to be partnered with the House of Lebanon. We thank everyone for allowing us to be here on this wonderful occasion. And we look forward to providing health and employment and other community services right here in this building. Thank you so much, and you have a great day.
Thank you, Shawnetta. If you hadn't noticed the colors are burgundy, not blue. Because we believe that the Washington football team will have a better season on next year. It's my pleasure at this time to introduce a young lady that Mount Lebanon Church has come to love like a sister in the family. Mission First helped us with our very first affordable housing project around the corner about 7 or 8 years ago. And when we were looking for another partner to do this project, there wasn't another partner really that we could think of other than Sarah Constant. And we just want to thank Sarah for all of the tireless sacrificial work that she has done on behalf of the community and Mission First, and her whole staff, Elizabeth. This would not have been done had it not been for a kind of development partner that understands the church community, the church culture, and the neighborhood. So Sarah's going to come now and take over this part of the service. Let's give her a great big hand.
Thank you. Let's see, this one. We are so grateful to Mount Lebanon CDC, Johnny Holliday and Pastor Edmonds, Urban Matters, Washington Interfaith Network, Ray Nix, who's back there, and Martin Trimble, who helped bring all of us together to make this development happen. And it sort of started with us coming together and then going to work with the Deputy Mayor's office. And I want to recognize Corey Lee and Mark Alberta, who helped us understand how to acquire the property and make it work with the District of Columbia. And then we want to find the architect who could help. And I really hope you take a moment to look at the before pictures so you see that this was a windowless building, who helped think about how we make this building part of the fabric of the community. And how we took this 3-story building and made it 4 stories. So I want to recognize Cunningham Quill, Scott Matties, Heather Rao, and Sylvan Miles, who are back here, who did a fabulous job on the design. And you couldn't do that without a great structural engineer, because when you're cutting major holes into a building, opening up a courtyard and adding a floor, you need a really strong structural engineer. And we're grateful for Wayne Bryan and Eilert Bryan and their work with us. We also thought it was important to preserve this building and to take this 1912 property that served as one of the first vocational schools for African Americans in the District of Columbia and maintain that history and create this community asset that would be with us for years to come. And we're grateful for the District's Historic Preservation Office, for Traceries, our consultant, who helped us find a way to combine the new and the old and to preserve You will notice the units when you get a chance to tour them are spacious. You can see that they were at one time classrooms. So you can see how we were able to preserve the old and the new in the design of the project. And then we had to take that design and we had to build something. And we are very grateful to our construction team at Hamill Builders. I know that they are all here throughout, but no matter what, there's hours and hours and hours of behind-the-scene work with the architect, the contractor, the developer team to make something like this work. So we're grateful to our on-site site superintendents, Alan Graves, Andre Hoggard, Cliff Jolliffe, and Joe, who are all over there, our corporate team out of Hamill, Mike Nemo, Ken Maffey, Tim Bowes, Phil Gibbs, and Tom Wall, who understood what we needed to build and that we also needed to create jobs. Deanne at Hamill helped us, ensure we had job fairs and we had opportunities for employment here as well. And I'm missing Tim Miller, our project manager, who came in as well to help us through. It's great to be here. But I kind of feel like Councilman McDuffie does. I feel very tired right now because it's been such a journey to get to this point and to have this all happen. So once you kind of get all the design and you get the construction team, you also have to go out and get the financing. And we are so grateful for our financing partners because I don't think we could have come up with a more complicated financing transaction here from day one through the end. And we're grateful for all the folks who were part of that process with us, particularly the folks at DC Housing Finance Agency who issued the bonds and gave us that first piece of core financing, and the staff at DCHFA, Ed Pauls, Michael Winter, Allison Ladd, and I want to welcome Maria Day Marshall, who's their interim executive director, and thank her for all of her work on our behalf.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to first thank Mayor Gray for his undying commitment to affordable housing, which allows us to continue making investments in projects like the House of Lebanon. So let's give Mayor Gray another. And to Deputy Mayor Hoskins for carrying out the Mayor Gray's wishes. Rich, will you take that message back to him? Thank you. Secondly, I want to thank Sarah and all the folks at Mission First, Ray Nix at Urban Matters, and the folks at Mount Lebanon CDC for their hard work with the residences, the churches, the city, the capital providers, and others to see this project through to a finish. I also want to thank our financing partners, including Capital One, Raymond James, Prudential, Freddie Mac, DMPAD, and DHCD for their patience and dedication to this project. Additionally, I want to thank the residences, the churches, and the community for their perseverance in driving this project home. Third, I want to thank my staff at the DCHFA, including Ed Pauls, Tony Waddell, Michael Winter, and Tracy Parker for working tirelessly to execute the financing for this project, and the board for supporting the financing. I'm a native of Washington, and I am very proud of the shape that my city has been taking over the last several years. I went to high school a mere four blocks from this site. Not at Dunbar, Mr. Mayor, and Mr. Jackson. I was a Catholic school girl. But nevertheless, I went to high school right here in this neighborhood. My parents met and married in the late 40s and 50s while teaching at Shaw Junior High School with the mayor's aunt, Aunt Florence. My mother directed the major art program at McKinley High School, at the old McKinley High School. And I've been a lifelong resident of Ward 5, Councilmember Duffy. After spending 4 years, the first 4 years of my life in Ward 7. Consequently, I have seen the transformation of this neighborhood firsthand over the over the last 50 plus years. What an experience. When I was in high school, I could look out of the window from my school and see the Women's Detention Center right across the street. And all those beautiful buildings on the east side of North Capitol Street were vacant and abandoned lots filled with trash and broken glass. I had to take 3 buses to school because there was no subway system, and there was a lot of crime. But the beauty of projects like this is that the residents that endured those challenges are able to share in the new prosperity of this area. I'm so very proud of the commitment my city has made to making sure that all that want to live in the district can live in the district. You have my pledge that the DCHFA will continue to do its part to make this ideal a reality. I wish the residents of the House of Lebanon a very happy holiday in their new home. And I was asked by Ed Pauls on my staff to give a shout out to the children at the new school, Mundo Verde, which is directly behind the project, who will be starting there next fall. Thanks so much, and enjoy the holiday.
I talked about the layers of financing and the number of DC partners, and one core partner in almost every affordable housing project that we do in the District of Columbia is the DC Department of Housing and Community Development. And their staff, and Ray Slade, who I know is could not be with us today because he's ill, and Joan McKenzie, their attorney who's over here, who does a fabulous work at getting the deals closed. We're very grateful to their work, and I want to welcome Nathan Sims, who's here on behalf of Director Kelly, to the stage, as they're such a key partner in this project.
Good afternoon. I have to make sure my collar is okay. My mom likes to watch these things, so I do not want to hear from her later on today. Hi, Mom. I'd like to thank Sarah for the introduction, and good afternoon again. Like everyone else, I am a native Washingtonian. No, I did not go to Dunbar, but I'm familiar with this neighborhood very well. I'm a graduate of Archbishop Carroll High School, so I'm very proud of that. We're mixed in a little bit in here. I am so honored today to bring greetings from our director of the Department of Housing and Community Development, Michael P. Kelly. And so if Director Kelly was here today, it is a lot of energy in this room. I don't have as much energy as Director Kelly. So truly, 55 must be truly the new 25. So, but I'm going to try my best. We're very excited to be at this ribbon cutting today. This project has saved and repurposed such a historic school building and a fixture in this community, without a doubt. It's been rehabilitated into housing that will ensure that seniors in the nation's capital have affordable and safe housing in their, I wasn't going to say golden years, but if 55 is the new 25, these are the good years. It's for this very reason that DHCD was happy to approve $4.7 million in our home investment partnership funds, along with the 4% tax credits allocated by the Housing Finance Agency to help this project come along. We're hopeful that the House of Lebanon will encourage development for seniors throughout the city. As the mayor announced, we are pretty busy with the 47 projects, but we have much more to go. It is a lot of work at the end of the day, but coming to these things makes it so much worthwhile when we go back. So I am very enthused, and I will enthuse our staff when we get back as well. After decades of raising families, building and maintaining neighborhoods, and helping to sustain the economic growth of this city, the seniors deserve, or better yet, have earned the right to live in a comfortable state-of-the-art facility for an affordable cost. We will continue to be partners with WIN, with House of Lebanon. We'll continue to be partners with Mission First. Development is a funny game. Sometimes we always don't get the deals done that we all want to, but they all get done eventually. So we continue to be a partner, a strong partner, with all in this room and a fixture in this community. And look, I'd like to thank you and have a great holiday.
So I said layers of financing, and we are very grateful. I want to recognize, before I bring Capital One up, our tax credit equity investor, Raymond James, and Sean Jones is here from Raymond James, and they were a core part of our financing piece. And Capital One was the investor in our project and the bridge bond lender. They have a knack for understanding complicated transactions and helping navigate the way through complicated transactions. And they have been just a huge leader in investing in affordable housing and community development in the District of Columbia. And we know that they'll be a partner with us in future times as we look at community services and other programs for this building as well. So I want to thank Capital One and welcome Ed Delaney to the stage.
Good afternoon. So Sarah mentioned a very complicated transaction. She probably should have said ridiculously complicated transaction that took a lot of people's time, which I know has a lot to do with Sarah being tired, because in addition to that, we closed on another transaction in the district just last month, and we will close on one more development in D.C. this month. That's going to be 3 transactions in 2 months. Part of your 47, Mr. Mayor. So just before the program, I was speaking to Pastor Edmonds and talking about how since 1899, Mount Lebanon Baptist Church has been here 114 years, and this is their first seniors project, right? And I said, what took you so long? But he's assured me that it won't take so long to do the next one, and we'd be proud to be part of that next project. So, passion, commitment, tenacity, and vision. These are some of the characteristics that one needs to possess in order to successfully implement a development like House of Lebanon. And the Mount Lebanon Baptist Church, with the CDC and Urban Matters, have that commitment. And the Mount Lebanon Baptist Church and the CDC had vision. They had vision that the former M.M. Washington School could become a home for seniors to come back to the community, people who grew up here and who, as was spoken about earlier, could no longer afford to live here. And this is a beautiful place. If you haven't toured the facility yet, please do so. It's amazing. And the views and these rooms, this is a place to call home. And I'm actually not that far off from being able to move in here. I also wanted to mention the fact that Mount Lebanon had the incredible good fortune to find Mission First Housing Development Corp. As a partner. I know that through personal experience. As I mentioned, we just closed another transaction, and we're about to do another. But there are no more passionate advocates, no more committed and talented people who can help you drive home a complicated, multiple-layered project such as this and to bring the development back to the community. And led by Sarah Constant here in D.C., along with Elizabeth Everhart, who's tireless and tenacious and drives everything, Donna Creedon, Angela Williams, and everybody here. Walt, as I mentioned before, you should be proud of you, Rob, to have partnered with Mission First, because they are among the best at this business. And when I first walked this business with Elizabeth, this empty, vacant, derelict school building, it was just a shadow of its former glory. And we walked here and we saw the holes punched in the walls where people had helped themselves to all the copper wiring and conduits and the water dripping down, and the unexpected benefit of an indoor swimming pool that took months and months to fix. But that's where the vision comes in. And Mission First and Mount Lebanon had the vision. They saw this empty classrooms where children once sat, where they had their hands trained and their minds enlightened, and they were able to come back out in the community and grow and bring something back here when the M.M. Washington School was in its prime. And now the House of Lebanon is a place where deserving seniors who've grown in this community can come and they can live. And these walls, these classrooms are once again something that is a benefit to the community. I know I'm near the last of the program, so I may just skip the last thing I was going to say. And simply say that Capital One is proud to be part of this vision, part of the passion that it took for everyone to bring this home. And this is our 4th project in the city with Mission First, our 8th overall when we close the next 2 next week. And we're proud to be part of this. We call that investing for good. And we will be here next year and the year after that. And when you're ready to do the next one, Pastor Edmonds, we want to be part. Thank you.
I did just want to take a moment as well, and we have a permanent lender in Freddie Mac is enhancing the permanent debt in the project, and that's done through Prudential. And I want to recognize Michelle Lavore Sloan and ask her to come up for a second. She's our represents Prudential, our permanent lender on the project, and we're grateful for their commitment to ensuring we could have long-term affordability out here.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy holidays. I'm really privileged to be here on behalf of our partner, Freddie Mac. We will be working on the permanent financing at the time of the takeout of the construction loan, so we're looking forward to that. And when we came in here about 2 years ago, I think in the winter, this property was something that we just couldn't, we couldn't recognize, or I should say, I really appreciate the extent of what you guys had to undertake to accomplish what you've accomplished here. And I have to say, with the various different construction challenges along the way, and the various different challenges throughout this whole project, I really have to say you guys have done a tremendous job. So I really compliment Mission First on their accomplishments, and we're really proud to be part of this team. So thank you very much, everybody.
So I just, as we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank our team and Mount Lebanon's team. I'm going to ask if you are on the board of Mount Lebanon CDC, if you would stand. If you are on the board of Mission First, or were on the board of Mission First, if you would stand. I want to recognize all the board members who voted, and we have Walt and Rob from Mission First, our leadership team out of the Pennsylvania office. We have many board members who have devoted time and hours to praying and thinking and working through resolutions and making sure this piece could happen. So thank you all for your time in this. I also want to recognize all the Mission First staff. And in particular, I want to recognize our construction management team at JDC, Lee and Hang and Sean. The last kind of month of construction is sometimes the hardest because you have residents you want to get in the building as soon as you can, and you have construction that has to finish up, and the amount of coordination between our construction management group and our property management group, I'm going to ask to come forward at this point to make sure we could have our residents come in. So first of all, can we give all these folks who work so hard